you've obviously been paired with Matthew Schaefer now for the last little while. Just, what have you seen from maybe his game as the two of you have been partners for the last couple months here?
No, I think he just continues to improve in all little areas of the game. I think we know about the offense and his skating. Everyone sees that pretty clearly. But I think some of the things that maybe people don't pick up on all the time is his battle, his work in the D zone. I think he's playing against top players every night, and he's handling himself really well in the D zone.
We also saw last game, he took the hit from Morrissey early on, took a pretty heavy shot from Luke Shen. He's taken some hits this year, but seems to kind of keep battling through it and logging those heavy minutes.
Yeah, he kind of just bounces back. He's like, you knock him down, but, keeps getting back up. No, I think that's just his character. There's no quit in him. There's no quit in his game. He digs deep when he needs to. So, that stuff's going to happen throughout the year, but I think, it's good to see him keep bouncing back from that.
What are some of the types of questions that he asks you, whether it's on or off the ice, as a mentor or a veteran player?
There's, I think, a little bit, in game we talk about little things, or, trying to find different areas to create offense, or, D-zone draws, trying to find different ways to break out pucks that we're talking about. I think off the ice, it's just like, I don't know if there's questions, it's just conversation. I think, we get quite a few dinners together on the road and, spend some time together that way. So it's been a lot of fun, I think, just creating that friendship off the ice and, helping it lead to some of our chemistry on the ice.
I think he told Isles Radio that he likes to bug Scotty a lot on the plane and sends him new games to play on his phone. Does he do any of that with you guys as well?
Yeah, he's tried. I feel like sometimes when there gets a little turbulence, I see him looking over at me. Sometimes he comes sits beside me. I feel like one trip we had pretty rough. He was trying to snuggle into my shoulder. So no, it's been fun. Obviously he's 18 years old. He's just a kid, just trying to learn everything. But it's a lot of fun to just have that around us as older guys. I think he just brought some life, and he's been a pleasure to be around.
Shifting gears to tonight's game, just what do you guys take away from the game in Winnipeg? What's sort of the focus here tonight, or things to clean up, things you liked about the last game? How do you bring it to tonight?
Yeah, we know we're going to have to try to do a better job in front of our net. I think in Winnipeg there was a lot of screen shots and a lot of shots hitting things and going in. So tonight it's going to be important to try to clear out that net. Obviously it's a big challenge whenever you're playing these guys. Two of the best players in the world. So it's a big challenge to shut them down, and it's also kind of fun to put that on yourself to try to do a good job.
First off, everything okay from the other night?
Yeah.
It was a rough game for you.
Yeah, it was just, one of those, the first one I just got winded, and then they thought it was my head, so I had to do a concussion protocol, so I had to go off and do that. And then the other one, I just got hit on the knee. It was I hit a nerve, so I didn't know if I just was couldn't handle it, but I guess when it hits a nerve, it kind of shuts down your leg a little bit, and you just can't put pressure on it, so I was just trying to hobble it around, but that was, yeah, it hurt. But no, it's all good. Nothing serious or anything. Just little bumps and bruises. Nothing crazy.
Was that your first time through concussion protocol here in the NHL, at least? Or,
Yeah, it was my stomach that really got hit, so it wasn't anything with my head. So I was going, and I was I had to do it. So I did it, but everything was okay.
Connor McDavid says it's a heck of a lot tougher to break in as an 18-year-old defenseman than him when he was an 18-year-old forward.
Sorry, say it again?
Connor McDavid says it's a hell of a lot harder to break in as 18 as a defenseman than him when he was 18.
Yeah, he's, probably the best player in the world, if not one of the best. So, he's so fun to watch. And it's both ways. He adapted super quick, so it was definitely easy for him. He probably, started to learn a lot of things from all the older guys, and that's what I try to do. but you just got to enjoy it. And I'm just trying to learn as much as I can so then I can be the best version of myself. But I mean, there's always challenges that you face when you come into the league. So yeah, I mean, it's tough for a forward and a defense. I don't know if it's different, but yeah.
When you were at Erie, what kind of legacy did McDavid have there? You know, like how often did people talk about him? How often did you see pictures of him? How much of a presence was he still there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just starts with, the draft. And, obviously the Otters got the first pick, and, I was lucky and honored enough, to get drafted by such an amazing organization. And it definitely helps when you see, Connor McDavid, Ryan O'Reilly, guys like that go through the organization, and it set them up for success. And, he did a lot of great things there, and it's pretty easy when, I'm coming in as an 18-year-old, not an 18-year-old, I think I was a little bit younger than that, 16 or, something like that. So, coming in at such a young age, McDavid did the same thing. So it definitely helped, going to a U.S. team, it was a little bit different. But, seeing guys like McDavid and things go through and, pave the way for, guys like me and, create a big legacy like he did. And, they had a couple good runs and they had great teams. And, it was awesome. And my time there was awesome.
He said it's a lot easier, though. He coached 18-year-olds, so it's a lot easier for a forward than a defenseman because the defenseman's going against the other team's best forwards every night.
No, it's the D are kind of the last line and then the goalies. So when you have a goalie like Sorokin, it's a little bit easier for us. But I think that's a true point. Obviously, going against the top guys, you got to be really good defensively, to shut them down. Because if they're beating you, then they're basically it's them and the goalie next. So we're kind of like the last line of defense. So we gotta be on our toes and have our best defense ready.
What have you gotten from playing with Ryan Pulock these last couple of months?
Yeah, I mean, he's been awesome. I think all our D have, taught me so many things. I mean, love watching them. I think it started off with, Maisie, and, he helped me, bring me into the league a little bit, and then now Pools. I mean, I think we have a great D-core, and it's super fun. But honestly, it's just fun because, I know they always have my back too if I'm jumping in, and I always have their back. And, it's nice when our chemistry starts to click, and then we're making plays all over the ice.
He was talking about you being a younger guy, maybe trying to give some of the older guys the gears a little bit, sending them like new cell phone games, that kind of thing. Just, what's your relationship with some of the guys? Because they're, a bit older than you.
Yeah, no, 100%. I love doing that. I mean, I've been going out to dinner with, Maisie, Pooley, and Pelly quite a bit, so I love giving it to them. Whether it's, on the plane, Maisie's watching a movie, I go to bug him, and I'm sending them, iPhone games, or I go sit with Pools, and, we're on our phones, and I'm just messing with them the whole flight. But I mean, I like to be moving. I don't like to just sit down, and I like to go and just like go to someone's room or go for a walk and things like that, and just mess with a lot of the older guys because it's funny because it's like I'm just like a young kind of kid coming in, and I'm just messing with all of them, and they're just want to sit and watch a movie and things like that. I'm kind of messing with the routine a little bit. So
when you watch a player like Makar, is there something you could take from his game into your game?
100%. I mean, he's so fun to watch. I mean, like I said, him and Hughes, I think, are two of the best D in the league. And to watch guys like that. Obviously, I think everyone plays a different type of game. Everyone plays their own style. But you can definitely look and watch, and they're so deceptive. The way they walk the line. They're good in all zones, all over the ice. So it's pretty fun to watch them and watch how smart they are.
Were you told to stay ready just in case?
What have you seen from Jonathan Drouin lately? I know he's got a long time without scoring.
Yeah, I mean, of course I would like to see him having 20 goals at this point, But like I said, we talked this morning and we met and explained to him, I want him to focus on things that he control, and what he controls is how he plays every shift, and not worry about the result. The result will come. I do believe that, and I always believe that if you work hard on the ice, you do those things right, eventually things will go your way. And he's a very smart player. I mean, he sees the ice well, he reads the ice well, and sometimes if things are not going our way, I mean, we have maybe the tendency to be frustrated, and I think that's the worst thing to do. And in this case, is simplify his game and keep doing the thing that he's been doing so well, and I'm sure, trust the process. Trust the process.
Have you seen that frustration with him?
No, not at all. He's been very positive, and that's why I said that's something that might happen to me a few times, yeah.
What have you seen from Anthony Duclair the last couple of games, and what do you like about him playing with Barzal and Andersley?
Yeah, there's a bit of. I feel like there's a connection there. they like to play together, but I feel like the speed, the quality of his shot, like the goal that he scored against New Jersey on the one-timer on the dot. So things like this, and he's been defending well. So tells me that it's a good recipe for us at this moment.
You mentioned the importance of fundamentals after that game in Winnipeg. How important is it to have those set in stone from the start when you're going up against an Edmonton team with Connor McDavid?
Yeah, they got more than McDavid, but yes, we're gonna have to play well tonight if we want to have a chance to win the game. We're gonna have to be solid defensively. He's going to play, 25, 30 minutes, him and Draisaitl. So that'll be a good test for our team. But I feel like the way we want to approach the game is with clarity. Approach it like it's going to be a loud building. It'll be a fun test for our team. We want to have some joy out there. We want to have compassion. And let's have some bold. Let's have some swagger and believe that and trust what we're doing is the right thing. It doesn't guarantee you a win at the end of the night, but I would love to see our team play a good game in a type of environment like this one. This is a great building to play in.
Sorry. Over the time you've been here, what are the subtle parts of Adam Pelech's game that have really stood out to you?
Well, I feel like he's been him and Paulie. Have been playing so well for us, and they're probably one of the reasons why we have the success that we have. They're both playing really well defensively. They're both playing against top lines. I know the question was about Pelly, but I like to add Paulie in it, and I think that the experience that they have comes down everybody, and they've been great mentors in the back for us, and they've been playing like solid hockey in a way that playing against top lines and shut them down and give ourselves a chance to win every night.
I guess going off that, have you seen any effects of playing with Ryan Pulock really help Matthew Schaefer?
I do. I do believe that is very helpful for him, and I'm sure Schaefer would say it the same. I think it's any young guys who 18 or a little bit older loves to have a vet like this around them. I think that makes you more comfortable knowing that you could go into the rush and be yourself, knowing that there's someone behind that's going to help you out and cover for you. So I think, yes,